Yo, what up, everyone? Old school law. I am Dantron69K back with another supplemental episode to something. It was just too good. The last episode was just too good. We had to continue. I got a lot of people on here that I wanted on that first episode, but you know how life goes. It's crazy. So I want to first welcome the man above me in the Sega shirt, Winbush.
What up? What up? Thanks you for having me. Yeah, I wanted to make the last one, but just didn't work out. So happy to be here. Appreciate
Oh,
you guys.
I'm excited to see you. Thanks for hanging in there and swinging in. Next to my left, we got in the end game now.
We are in the end game now.
Oh my gosh, it's so much. Yeah, I don't have my sweet swag on, you guys. Anyways, next to him in the dessert position today, we got Scantron 5K. It looks like he's frozen though.
Hi, froze. Yeah.
He's frozen.
Completely frozen.
Dang it, Spectrum! Spectrum again gets us. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, you know, he's going to come back. He'll be back. I can feel it. It'll be fine. And then in the upper left side, way over there, is my co-pilot, Wolfman.
Sup, fools?
And then bringing up the Cyclops position today is Eric.
What up? So happy to be here. Wanted to make the first one, couldn't, so I'm glad I'm here.
Yes, I'm happy to have all of you here, especially Scantron. Yeah, then we got like a second version of Scantron in there. Oh, wait, there we go.
Spectrum.
Spectrum. Darn near killed him. All right, so he's back now. The man, the myth, the legend, Scantron 5K.
Let's lose. I'm already getting a head start, guys. What's up? Thanks for having me, brother.
Let's lose connection. No.
Holy shit, that's so stupid.
Dude, that was awesome. Yeah, what you guys didn't see is that I went, all right, we're going to start recording. And then I accidentally clicked myself out the first time that we were about to start recording and just left this. Anyways, all right. So let me pull back. I digress. Too much laughter at the beginning of this. Is a serious conversation. It's actually not that serious. This is
serious.
This is a continuation of the wrap up of 2025 and what to expect in 2026. A lot of you have already heard this and saw the first episode, and so you know where I stand. I might, a little bit in there, but a lot of these people have a lot of things to say. I think they're going to bring a lot of value to this and some insights into where the industry is going. And so, I'm just going to start it off. I'm going to first off start with Winbush and ask him, some of his favorite situations or situations as far as in the gaming industry or in electronics or anything that he's had in 2025.
Dang, start off with me. Okay, so I was getting back into light gun games last year, right? So I got the opportunity to speak with the game people, that's GAIME, and they sent me this one out. So this is the game light gun. So the thing about it is you don't need sensors with it. Like it has some type of AI tech in here that has a camera that will sense whatever type of room situation you have. So like your monitor, I have it working with my Vuelix, my 75-inch TV out in my living room. Like it just picks it up within the camera and it knows the TV monitor, and you don't need any type of sensors whatsoever. Like I would say the accuracy is like 90% there. It's not 100%. So if you're playing like point blank or something like that, it's going to be off a little bit. But if you're running like Transformer Human Alliance or something where you're just like sitting there and spraying the screen, I mean, it's like perfect for stuff like that.
Nice.
That's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds
that's
awesome.
dope technology, really.
Yeah, it actually sounds like Sinden, kind of like Sinden without the border.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going for it. And it has like firmware updates you could put on there. So it's it's machine learning. So I think it'll be better this year, but it's like 90% there. It's not quite there, but I'm excited to do more with it and play more light gun games.
Bro, you totally forgot and missed your trip to Japan. I'm calling you out.
I mean, that's more retro stuff, right? Like
that's the mecca. This is gaming in general. Like it doesn't have to be newer tech or whatever, dude.
You're just doing all tech. All right, so yeah, I mean,
anything.
I came back from Japan with 2 Sega Saturns. I got them for like $10 each. I had to jump in and I reassembled them, put them together. I got this one here. I got the Suro cart. So like the disk drive doesn't work on this one, but I got the Suro cart that has all the Saturn games on it. So literally just cart loaded, everything plays right on there. Just switched out some of the innards in there and it plays like you just got it. So really excited about getting the Saturns back and then got the Game Gear, got the Game Boy. Yeah, came back with too much. I could go on episode, but I don't want to be the guy sitting there talking.
All
Had a
right.
great time out there.
I have to touch on one thing though. You guys need to check out his Winbush Gaming channel, especially. He has a couple other channels which are great. His Winbush channel, of course, but he legit like took that Game Gear apart. If you want to see some sweet stuff and some of the shorts that he did and some videos, he took his Game Gear and new boarded it. Basically, he pretty much just made a brand new Game Gear, upgraded screen and everything. It was freaking amazing. I like watching that kind of stuff, and Wimbush, you being able to do all that, it was really cool to watch. And so I just wanted to give a plug for that. Anybody else that's like a nerd like me that likes to mess around with hardware, that was just awesome.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's my first time using a soldering iron too, so I was kind of nervous going in there, but I mean, it worked out. Put a Raspberry Pi in there and everything, and yeah, it's dope.
The first time using a soldering iron, and you built basically a GameCube. Yeah, exactly. It is that wild. Anyways, all right. Let's go with Eric now. Eric, how about you? Best favorite thing in 2025?
So, I don't play any current games. I'm just gonna say that. All my stuff is retro. Unless Wolf suggests something current, then I'll play it. But yeah, I just don't. So if I had to say like my favorite thing in 2025 as far as gaming goes, honestly, it was the OLED upgrade for my Megacade. It made all my retro games pop insanely well. I didn't know. I mean, this is the first OLED I have in the house, honestly. So it was, other than my little handheld. So it was the first time seeing those games on an OLED, seeing those colors pop and stuff. It was just fantastic. That being said, our console, the BeardBox, was released in 2025, and that was a huge deal. Partnering up with BMA and working with Eli and having Eli come out to the house and actually work on it and stuff like that. Those are the highlights for me for 2025. As far as specific games go, it's hard to say because I just replay a bunch of stuff. I don't know if I'm just like broken in the head or whatever, but like I play I played through Final Fantasy 4 and 6 again, and then I played through Chrono Trigger again and stuff. These are all games that I play like on an annual basis, and it's like I don't play any new games. I played Terminator. That was cool. The No Fate game. That was awesome. I like that. What I will say, just as kind of like an ending statement here for 2025, I love the idea that there are current indie developers making games that will appeal to people that are into retro stuff. So
I agree 100%.
Fate, but also Absalom and games like that.
Yeah.
People that are like, oh, I love the old school beat 'em ups, so I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna make sure I don't use AI for any of the graphics, and I'm gonna use the hand art and stuff like that for all of it. I love that. So the fact that became a thing in 2025, and I hope that continues in 2026. So, I mean, I'll keep it short and sweet. That's kind of what I want to wrap up.
You mentioned Chrono Trigger. So I was just at my friend's gaming shop, and there was a guy that came in and was like, "Hey, do you have Chrono Trigger?" And I was like, "Yep, it's sitting right there." And he was like, "What?" And it was just funny because then he ended up buying it because he's like, "I've been looking for it everywhere." I'm like, "There it is, sitting right here. Look at you." But it's such a good game, dude. It's and the newer stuff being retro, coming and looking retro and playing like retro. Like the Terminator Dark Fate in particular, dude, I agree with you 100%. Marvel Cosmic Invasion 2.
Oh, yeah. Forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Bro. All right, Wolfman.
Well, I mean, I ranted and raved like a lunatic last episode. So, I'm not going to steal a bunch of time from friends and stuff. I mean, my opinions haven't changed from what I said last episode. I mean, right now I am about 3 hours into Clair Obscure Expedition 33, and it could be one of the best games I've played in a long time. It's totally addicting. It's got a great story, amazing graphics, great turn-based gameplay. I'm in, like the same way I was in with Elden Ring, how that just kind of captured my imagination. I'm just gonna do my best to put in as many hours as I can and beat this thing.
A question.
Dan Larson.
You're a teacher, so I figured I'd raise my hand first.
Yeah, exactly.
Last of Us, Claire Obscure. Are they kind of in the same as far as drawing your attention? Are they similar as far as drawing your attention and sucking you in?
What? I missed what you said.
Claire Obscure and Last of Us. They're not the same game, I get that, but the way that they're grabbing you, is it similar? With
yes.
The story?
I would say yes.
Fair enough.
What about how I grab you?
All the time, dude. You know, but I'm slippery because I'm greasy.
The waist down.
I'm Hispanic.
As always.
Yeah. All right, Endgame.
Real quick. Can I ask Wolf?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Can I ask, do you have like a Persona background? Like, do you like the Persona games?
Yes. I love the Persona background. I have both of the Persona and Persona 2 on PS1. That's where I started off at. And my son is playing the most recent one on Switch right now. I got him addicted. So
nice.
Definitely Persona fan. I want to say there's a little bit of Persona 2, Expedition 33 a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was asking, because people are telling me, because I like Persona games, and they're like, you should jump into Expedition because there's like parallels there, right? So I haven't gotten a chance to get into it, but yeah. You guys would love it. I mean, any gamer would be all over that. So
those of you that aren't gamers that are watching, all 6 of you right now, you have no idea what we're talking about for Persona. Look it up. There's tons of them out there. What are we up to? Like Persona 6 or 7 now? Is that right?
5 is out officially, but 6
was the last one. 6.
Yep.
6 is coming up.
6 is being worked on.
Yeah. So just look it up if you don't know. Persona, great game franchise. Endgame.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna piggyback off of what Wolfman said. Claire Obscure Expedition 33, my game of the year, and it's a little like Persona, but in my opinion, Persona has a lot of extra stuff to keep you busy throughout the entire, year. Whereas this kind of gets more right to the point and keeps the narrative going. And what it reminds me more of is think of a game like Final Fantasy VII, where you have your main content and then there's some side content, but it's not overwhelming. It's not like Witcher 3 where there's so much to do that you get paralyzed by it. It's, I know I can go over here. I know I can go over here. These guys are way too powerful for me. I can't go over here. I can go over here, though, so I'm going to do it. It also reminds me of a game called Lost Odyssey. If you guys have ever heard of this game. Has a pretty dark story. And I would say Claire Obscure also has a darker story compared to other like Final Fantasy, some of the Final Fantasy games and stuff like that. And I would say there's the combat is really good turn-based combat. It's not just just mash your A button and you can get through it as long as your guys are high enough level. Like you actually have to parry, you have to dodge. There's additional jump dodges that certain enemies do. So you have to stay on your toes, even though it is a turn-based battle system. I think the graphics are amazing for more of an indie title. Wolfman, would you agree? Like the production value and the graphics?
Absolutely, it's amazing. And what I love about it, with what you said, is if you can't master the parry function in the game, you're done. It's such an integral part of how to play the game, that and the dodge, like you said, and it's just you can't just attack and adjust your your pictos and all that stuff. You gotta be able to which to me, there's some strategy now that's involved.
Yep.
Hand-eye coordination is at its pinnacle with the parrying. So
and
it's great game.
And you have skills that you can add on. So if you're not as good at, let's say you're not as good at parrying, but you're good at dodging because there's a bigger window to dodge. Well, you can craft your characters to dodge. Yep. But if you're really good at parrying, you might get 25% health back if you do 3 successful parries in a row. So you can build your character that way. So it's really cool. There's a lot of depth to it. The story's really good. The production value, again, my game of the year. Some other games that I really enjoyed, more modern games. Absalom, Wolfman, you talked about that. Outstanding game, brings you back to the beat 'em up genre, but then modernizes it with the roguelike aspect. I'm a big fan of the Dispatch game. That's like a cinematic, narrative-driven title. Definitely not for everybody. And then, like Eric said, all those 2D retro games like the Terminator. Neon Inferno was another good side scroller, kind of like a Contra game. And then, of course, you had the Marvel Cosmic Invasion. So those are more my my modern stuff that I really enjoyed this past year. And then I got myself an upgrade on my arcade. I got a Retrocade Elite Pedestal, so I can play all my retro stuff on there. And who knows, Eric, maybe we'll get one of those beard boxes in there, and maybe I can upgrade that sucker and play some of that on there as well.
For sure.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that, because I was about to frickin' call you out if you didn't talk about that epic pedestal that you got, because that thing is freaking bitching. So
yeah, thanks, man.
And now I'm gonna call out Eric too, because Eric, what is behind your head right now? Wasn't that a 2025 piece of electronic equipment and another piece there?
What are you talking about?
Your V pin?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm not letting you guys go. You guys got some freaking awesome stuff that I would be freaking stoked about. And I know the year seems long, so I'm just like, nope, you are not skipping. Go ahead.
So yeah, we do V pins. Not a lot of people know right there. It's hard to see the art, but I'm not trying to like blow up my queue and fail my business like a few other V-Pin companies are.
Oh.
So if you want a V-Pin, hit me up. And especially since we are working with BMA now, and the guy happens to be on the side like a V-Pin genius as far as software goes. The dude is working on something called Perspective Pinball, which makes these look like real pinball machines. I can't show it on here because it's weird, but on my channel I'll be showing some videos of some Perspective Pinball where the V-Pin pinball machines look like actual real pinball machines, and that's something that's coming later. BMA jumped right in with us and said, hey, I want to help you out with your V-Pin business, and I was like, cool, thanks, man. And so that's what we're doing there. We're also working with Cleveland Software Design. He's kind of a big player in the V-Pin industry, and he's got the best solenoids on the market. So literally anyone else, including Rec Room World, does not have these solenoids, and these things are freaking fantastic. So all of our internals are going to be Cleveland Software Design, and our software is going to be BMA, and the hardware and cabinets can be built by CDC or CoinDrop Customs. And that's all happening in 2026, but it started in 2025. So thank you for mentioning it. It is definitely something to be excited about.
I got you, fam. I'm excited about it. Every time you do it, I live vicariously through your awesomeness, and I'm just like, where can I fit a V-Pin in here? And probably get in, then divorce.
Dude, he wants to do. We're gonna do.
You need a V-Pin.
He wants to do.
You need
bar
a
top
V-Pin.
V-Pins, man.
I don't want no bar top stuff. Do I look like
No,
an
get a
arcade
real
one-up
one.
size? No,
Dude, when
full
BMA
size.
came in and he saw this, we call it the snub nose because the back box is the same size as a regular, but the front is like so small because it's a 38-inch OLED that's in there. And he was like, dude, I love the size of this. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's what my wife said. Anyways, all right. So now finally we're gonna go to Scantron 5K.
Finally, I made it. I'm going to touch on a couple things that like Eric has said, and I am not, you guys know I don't play new games. I really don't. I don't play console games. I stick to what I like. That's a lot of it's retro. But I'm standing here playing it right now because this is what I do. Every weekend night I'm in here playing Golden Tee. Golden Tee is my end all be all. It's probably my favorite arcade game of all time. And I think the thing that I like the most about it is I've been playing this version of Golden Tee for 20 years, and it's the same game that it was 20 years ago. So even though every year it releases a new season with new courses and all these new things, you're still playing the same game. You know what I mean? So in a sense, it still feels like you're kind of in that retro mode. It's not you know, some crazy graphics in your face. Everybody knows when you see one at the bar, it's like, oh, it looks like a PlayStation 3. You know what I mean? So with all that said, my biggest thing this year, and I've touched on this on my YouTube channel before, I was the design a hole contest champion for Golden Tee this year. So my hole is now featured in the game, which I'm actually getting ready to play that course right now. My hole, the Legend, probably one of the biggest highlights of my barcade game room, home game room life that I've ever had come to fruition. You know what I mean? So that was probably the biggest thing I can think of this year, is just being etched into one of my favorite games of all time. And now I got a place in that for forever, pretty much. And I'm
awesome.
gunning for the back-to-back, dude. I'm gunning for the back-to-back. I got a lot of submissions going into the 2027 design a hole. So that's definitely something I'm gunning towards. And I didn't know everyone was just blowing their whole wad on the first run around the table. So I guess I should talk about like 5 things.
Yes, please.
So,
Actually, first
yeah,
off,
all
I want
right.
to point
So
out.
I got
Wait,
another.
I want to point out there's too many hole jokes for it not to be brought up. So now you have millions of people
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
playing your hole. That's just what I want to
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
I mean, it's Golden Tee,
How
so I
does
don't
it
know if
feel?
I'd say millions, but
I mean,
it feels like I need some A&D ointment, and it's awesome.
oh my gosh,
Dude.
good. Now go ahead.
Wait,
Eric.
wait. Can I say something real quick?
Absolutely.
So for 2026, you're going up against my daughter, who is doing a design a hole for Golden Tee.
I love it. You know what's funny is like, if I can bring some awareness to this, it's such a simple contest, and some of the designs that people submit look like a 3-year-old scratched it on paper. They do not discriminate. If it fits a whole design for a course that they have in mind for that season, they do not care. You got CAD designers. I sit down with pencils and some colored pencils and stuff, and sometimes I just do black and white. It doesn't matter. So really, I mean, I think if I can bring awareness to such an awesome game, then I'm happy to do it. So
Yeah,
if your
my
daughter beats me, I'm going to be mega pissed, like super pissed if your daughter beats me.
She saw your hole, and she was like,
Oh,
I could totally do it.
Oof.
And I was like, hey, you know, if that's your thing, then yeah, she went for it. So
if
she's
you
an
win it,
artist,
she's gonna be like, Dad, what do you think you might want to pay me? I'll give you the homie discount.
right? We'll see how far she gets.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool because it was literally because of your design a hole and how you won, and I showed her all of that, and she was like, dude, I want to enter, and I was like, let's do it. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Good for
That's
her,
cool.
dude.
But is it going to be weird checking out your daughter's hole? I don't know. That
Man,
seems weird to
don't
me.
man. Now you made it weird.
Now you made it weird.
Sorry, hey, Dantron derails. That happens. All right, Scan, keep going. You were going to talk about something else that I was going to make you talk about, but go ahead.
You know, I'm sure. So behind me, you guys well know I've documented these racing cabs. These are they were once upon a time OG Tokyo Drift racing cabs, just one game, everything OG about it. And I was at one point, I'm like, you know what? I got to update these things. I kind of wanted to convert them to a supercars, which is where I started. Well, lo and behold, they have this arcade interface that I think it's brand new for 2025. I don't remember it existing in 24. So that arcade interface basically allows you to put a gaming PC in your cabinet, gut the old ones out, and then that interface allows all of the OG controls, like your dedicated controls, your steering wheel with the force feedback. I am not a fan of bastardizing a cabinet. So that's why I didn't want to have some sort of Logitech steering wheel and gutting out the buttons and doing different things. It allows you to use all of those original components in your machine. Now I have 1,000 racing games in each machine. About 40 of them play linked. The graphics are crispy as hell. I also went in, gutted out the old, I cut the bezels out. You guys can see the full review on the channel, but I cut the bezels out. I added big 32-inch monitors. Those are 2K monitors. So I actually put a lot of passion into this project, and I had Fidel from Crackware Arcades do the build with the arcade interface and the dash and basically just making sure everything worked the way it was supposed to work. So I paid him to have that set up. And I am very happy with that end product. So 2025 has been a good year. And I don't even know if I'm going to have shit to say about 2026. I don't know. I'm just riding it out, baby, you know?
Oh, there's
That's
stuff
awesome.
there's stuff that's gonna happen in 2026 for you because there's something else that you've been getting more involved in 2025. But we'll talk about that technology when we talk about 2026, which I
All
think
right.
we're about to that point right now. So I'm not gonna touch on the stuff that I already told all my stuff that I was excited about in 2025, and Wolfman already did it. So all right, totally open forum, totally open forum.
Can I
Okay.
say one thing real quick?
Yes, sir.
It's been bugging me since Jamie or since Endgame mentioned about the 2D beat 'em ups. I think one of the worst beat 'em ups, and it's been bugging the hell out of me, is that Terrifier beat 'em up. That game sucks.
Oh, really?
Windbush did a short on how bad that game is.
It
Keep going.
sucks.
Yeah.
And I
Is
love
it bad?
Arctic
I haven't
Town.
played that. I got to
game
play that game.
blows chunks.
It's the only negative review I've
Really,
done.
it's horrible.
It stands out. It is the only negative that you ever did. Go ahead. Just
Because
keep
I'm a big fan of the Terrifier. Like I love the
Same.
movies. I've watched Hollow
I do
Eve,
too.
like,
I'm with
all
you,
that
man.
stuff, and I was hella excited. And then they actually reached out. They're like, "We got a demo." I put the demo in, and I was like, "This is terrible." I'm like,
Sucks.
"This,
It's so
I'm like, this
bad.
can't be the end product." It comes out in like a month, and sure enough,
Yeah.
that was it. It looks like they just like tried to reskin
Cyberpunked you.
Scott Pilgrim, and I'm like, if you would have just left it as Scott Pilgrim, you would have been a lot further. But they kind of took the same sprites and just bastardized it. And it was terrible. Like it plays
It's the same
so bad.
enemy type. There's 2 or 3 enemy types. It's so stupid.
Yeah,
It's
bad.
and once
Yeah.
you see the blood like splat on the screen like twice, it becomes old hat. And it's just I don't know. I was really excited because like everybody said, it's the year of the beat 'em ups, the 2D beat 'em ups, and I was excited for that, and man, was that a disappointment. So sorry, I didn't mean to hijack. I just had to get that out there. It's been
I'm
bugging
with
the
you.
hell out
I
of me.
was looking forward to that game for a minute, and I was
Yeah.
so disappointed. Like I'm a big Art of a Clown fan, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
man,
That's
they
but
messed
that's
that up.
dude, that's the thing too. It's like you developers, like figure this stuff out. Like don't be putting out garbage. Like just like you got a great property. Take a little bit of time. It didn't have to get pushed out in 2025. If you need to pull it back into 2026, just do that. Like I mean, it's one of those things. I'm just like, why? You just wasted money. Like that's
So you're telling me that Sneak King is better than the Terrifier game?
it. Probably
Yes.
is.
100%.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh my
Shout out
gosh.
for my shorts, right? Exactly. So
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. That's crazy.
That was a great short, by the way. That was a
Ah.
great short.
Thank you. Yeah, had some couple of goofballs in it. Go ahead.
It sure did.
You were gonna say
Well,
something, Endgame. I can see.
Yeah, and like the thing with these beat 'em ups, like you have some of them that are, solid like Marvel Cosmic Invasion, right? And then you have Absalom, which is like next level for a beat 'em up. And it's like with this Terrifier, or even like the Power Rangers Rita's Revenge or the G.I. Joe one, where you're like, man, there's so much potential here. We've seen it with open bore, right? Like there's trash open bore games, but then there's some really great open bore games. And these are made by fans, right? That don't have the background or the budget. So if you're telling me that you have a company with this budget making this game, you're advertising it, marketing it, it's like, come on, man, you got to do better.
Yep.
Just
I
be
think the
better.
problem with people, I think a lot of the times it's just these franchises, they, like we've talked about many times over, they get swamped and they're in the moment and they just release some shit ball because they can slap their brand on it and they know people will buy it or play it. And it sounds like that's what happened. I want to play it just for the bad game factor now. I got to try it. I got to play it.
It has a demo, so you might also just download the demo. I think the demo would be enough. Like after 5 minutes, you get a feel for it.
Yeah.
So repetitive. It's
Is
like,
Terradrome better? Terradrome sounds better than what you
Oh
guys
my
are saying.
god,
Dude,
Lightning.
I
Is it?
love
Yeah.
Terradrome.
Yeah, this
Oh.
game is terrifying. It'll shock. It's just your freaking brains just pop out of your head at how goddamn bad that game is.
yeah, they take
This is the
two
Wolf.
steps
This
back.
is the version of Wolf I love, just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
I love having this version of Wolf.
No,
Yeah. Don't mess with his Cubs. Don't
Yeah,
mess with his
yeah.
Cubs, dude.
Yep, exactly. I'll
Well, And we're talking about his Cubs in this situation, not his kids. His Cubs are going to be both beat 'em up games and retro looking. You effed up both of those ones. Don't do that to Wolf.
That's a double whammy right
Yeah,
there.
no, dude.
But
A
on the flip
double
side of
whammy.
that, there's a good game coming out this year, beat 'em up wise. I got to play it at Comic-Con up in LA earlier this year for Jay and Silent Bob.
Oh,
I can't remember the developers of it, but I was talking to the dev when he was there. He let me try it out, and it's actually really good. So I'm looking forward to that one. Like,
Ooh.
it's definitely not a Terrifier situation. Like, I feel like this is more on par with I wouldn't say quite as good as Marvel, but it was still pre-dev, right? So it wasn't fully fleshed out. But from what I played, it's actually really dope. So yeah,
if
looking
they're
forward to
close
that.
to Marvel, dude, if they're close to Marvel, because I would say pinnacle for any of those new games, even over Dark Fate or No Fate, is going to be the Marvel Cosmic Invasion and Shredder's Revenge, both
Yep.
made by Tribute Games, and they are the pinnacle
Yep.
of retro games that are out there. So if it's
Yep.
close to that, I'm sold already.
Have you
Sold.
tried the Toxic Crusader yet?
No, I'm
'Cause
getting
that
that
is
one
dope.
too, because that one looks
Okay.
freaking dope.
There's a demo for it on Steam. I would say try that one out, because I would say it's along the lines of the Toxic Crusader, which I was really surprised at how good that one is. So I would say it's probably more on par with that.
That one's been delayed a few times now, hasn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to come out last December, but it got pushed again. So
If
Seems like a
it's-
weird game to be delaying. I guess Terminator was kind of that way too. It got delayed quite a bit too.
It did. It did.
Yeah.
How about He-Man? I thought.
Yeah, that looks good.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's out this year too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually looks really good. There, and going back to open board, there is an open board He-Man beat 'em up that has the look down, but the combat's not very good in that game. Whereas this one, the combat looks a lot better.
Faux show. All right, so now that wasn't a derail. That was a great conversation. Thanks, Wolfman, for starting us off. I like angry Wolfman sometimes, so that's good. And so now I'm gonna go back again. So 2026. This is totally open forum. Like, tell me, what are you excited about? What are you might be a little nervous about? What are some of the thoughts? Some of your predictions? Just give it to me straight. You guys have at it.
GTA 6, what the fuck, man?
No, that's 2027. Don't even worry about
That's
that.
2027, bro.
Hey. Why is there an official
Technically
push that I haven't heard
November.
of? Come on. Yeah,
Delayed.
technically November.
I have a little inside information on GTA 6 that I can say here because I don't work for them.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
hear
hear
it.
it.
Drop it.
So GTA 6, they did Rockstar is a cool company. I honestly wish I worked for them, but they played with this idea of having some AI content in their game. And they were like, oh, we're going to have some AI do some art and we're going to do this. And then people were like, oh, people won't really notice and it'll help us speed up the development and stuff. Well, people fucking noticed. And
Shocking.
and then people took a Rockstar took a stance against AI and they were like, no, we're not going to be the company that does that. And we're going to have real artists do our stuff. But that meant they had to redevelop the game. So they went not completely back to the drawing board, but they pulled out all their AI stuff because they were like, hey, if we get caught with this, if we release this and get caught that there's AI stuff, that's going to look real bad, especially for the stance that we took. So they did the right thing. They pulled it back and they were like, all right, we're going to take out all that stuff. We're going to have real artists do the animation, do the rigging and everything. And we're going to make a better game. But they're like, but it means it's going to be delayed. So they delayed it again. But this is a delay that I can support. Because I'm like, dude, you guys took a stance, you're standing by it, and you want to release a better game. Now, what I will say is that AAA companies in general, AAA game developing companies in general right now have this trend of ruining game franchises. I'm a little bit scared that that's going to happen with GTA 6, but I feel like they're making the right decisions to make a good game. So I hope the delay is for good.
So now that we have this dirty, filthy, pornographic evidence, give us some sort of a just a nip of what this delay might look like. If you know anything about what this delay looks like, lay it on us.
I think 2027.
Yeah.
I think that's a reasonable thing to expect.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get closer to November. I mean, maybe they'll surprise us and they'll be like, "Oh no, we actually have it done," and they'll release it by November. Or
Okay.
we'll get like early access in November, and then we'll get like a full release in 2027. But I think what'll happen is we'll get that actually looks reasonable. I think we'll get like, oh, okay, we can't get a full release out by November, but we'll get early access. And if you want to pay, you know, a little bit of extra or whatever, you can play it now, and then you'll get a full release in 2027.
Do you think it's the type of situation like what they did with GTA 5 where they released the story first and then they delayed the online section? Because they did that with Red Dead too, right? Like they released the
Yeah.
story and then maybe a couple months later is when they dropped the online stuff.
I'm not privy to what those decisions are. So, I mean, if you really want to get into this now, I can get into the nitty gritty of like how the development works and what it looks like in 2026. It's an awful situation though, and that's across the board for every AAA studio. This is why indie studios are popping off right now.
Yeah,
but we can get into it later if you want. I don't know if you want me to go down that rabbit hole.
We'll go into
deep.
that. We're going to go into that negative. Well, more of what we're doing in the future, but you know, in this episode, we're not going to leave it. But I want to point out too, this kind of delay that you're talking about, I know is actually meaningful for other people that are on this call, because I know there are people in the graphics industry that appreciate the fact that they're not going all AI. I appreciate not going all AI. I appreciate that there's actually people being paid contractually to make and do and use the intellectual properties and all that kind of stuff. I still like that. So I think there should be more of that personally. And I know a couple of you on this call for sure agree with me. So
yeah, it's the type of thing where with these companies that they're using AI for the wrong stuff. Like, you know, as artists, we love doing the creation side of it. So it's like for the tedious task, we don't mind if AI does like, you know, like rotoscoping or UV topology and crap like that. But it's like you don't want to use AI for the actual creation part, because that's where artists get to be creative. That's where they get the later vision. And it's like that's what these companies, it seems like they're trying to alleviate all the creative process, and they're just like, we could just kind of throw it in this grinder, whatever it spits out, that's what we're going to use because we're saving a bunch of money doing it. But it's like you're saving money, but you're sending out crap, and then nobody's going to buy your product. And then how do you save money? Because you're not going to generate any money on the back end. So it's just been a real crapshoot, I would say, at least on my side, the past 3 years, ever since this stuff started popping off.
Yeah, and like,
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, like, Call of Duty is like a big time publisher and they're using it. So now if Rockstar, the kings of gaming, start using it, that would be bad sign for everybody, because Rockstar is going to get away with it. You know, if that game comes out and there's AI in it, people are going to buy that game regardless. So it's good that they're walking it back, because then it's showing a good sign to the rest of the industry.
Yeah, I just think it's how you use it. I mean, like Expedition 33 came out recently and said that they used AI. I can't remember to what extent, but it was to a point to where nobody really noticed it till it came out, right? So
yeah, I think it was like the development phase or like their idea phase. They're also a team of 30, 33 people, whereas Rockstar has thousands and thousands of employees probably.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
I don't want to derail it.
I will.
No, that's good. No, we're going to talk about that more. Go ahead, Scan.
I was just going to say that I know I contradicted myself, because the first time around I just said, look, you know, you guys know I don't play new games. I don't play console games. GTA 6 is a different, that's, you know, it's got a soft spot for me, man. I was a huge Vice City fan. I played through that over the last year, just went back and chipped away. I just can't wait to be back in Vice City. That's all I got to say about that. So I stick to my retro shit, but there are exceptions.
Closet gaming nerd. I love it.
Oh man, those are cuss words.
Okay, so keep going. So things that you see coming up, things you're excited about, and keep going. I mean, you know,
I'm going to mention something that was said.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Eric that said it. I see absolutely more of the indie scene becoming bigger and bigger. I see that becoming more prominent. I see the AAA studio going the way of the dodo. And, you know, if you look at it, the indie companies, they're more creative, they're more culturally relevant, and they take more chances than AAA companies. So all three of those, to me, that's a win. Dan Larson.
I'm worried though. I'm worried because these AAA companies and some of the bigger developers have deep pockets, and Microsoft has already screwed up a bunch of those indie companies. So that's what I'm most worried about, because the way that the market is going, that money is king, and if they throw enough money at something, they're gonna grab it. Which is great in a way, because that means like an indie developer did so good that they were swallowed up. But hopefully they're able to come out with. I'm worried about that aspect, because I think that just me in 2026, when you just talked about this specific subject, I'm more worried about those companies knowing that those AAA companies knowing that they're not going to be able to hang, and start taking the money that because they're losing money, but taking the money they have left and going and starting to buy some of these things to try and offset the fact that they've pretty much killed their development cycle on their other games, and they're trying to bring in fresh blood, and all they're doing is being a vampire and just sucking it and not doing anything with it. So that was my fear. But go ahead, Wolfman.
No, it's a great point that you brought up. I mean, you just got to hope that an indie company, and most people, if something like Microsoft and Nintendo are flashing millions and millions of dollars at indie companies to buy them, give them money or buy their company, they're probably going to take it. But the ones that really, really care about gaming and creativity and being able to control their own IP, they're going to turn away the Microsoft and Nintendo, and hopefully continue to put out unique, creative, cool games and take chances. That's what I'm hoping.
That might be another market thing though too, because if they can turn away all the big money, but that might open up an opportunity for smaller investors to get in. So that could be a good thing. I mean, it could be a good thing.
That's what I hope.
Yeah. All right, keep going.
Well, and okay, so like you're talking about Microsoft, right? Obviously 2025 was not a good year for gaming morale around Microsoft, right? We're basically killing our console by raising the price multiple times, damaging the number one thing that people like Microsoft for, Game Pass, by doubling the price, right? Yeah. So 2026 is the 25th anniversary of the Xbox. So they have a lot of big titles coming out. They have a new Fable, they have a new Gears of War, they have a new Halo. So they have their heavy hitters lined up. So it's going to be a big year. Can they get the morale of the Xbox gamer back on board with them, even with all these damage that they've done, or burying all these studios and everything that they did? Or did the fans not show up and it's basically the death nail in the next Xbox?
No, dude, it's going to be fine, because it's not going to be tied to hardware. Nobody cares. It's going to come out on PS5 and all and on the PC. That Xbox doesn't care. People don't care about that. If it's a good game, it's going to sell regardless. But the fact that because they have no exclusives anymore, that's just the way that I see it. Like, if it's a crap game, then they're definitely not going to make any money, because people aren't going to buy it for these other consoles either. So, I mean, focus their money on the software side, I guess. Might be a good thing for Xbox.
Right. Go the way of like Sega, kind of, where no longer make a console, but then we put our stuff on everything.
I know, but newer Sega stuff is so hard, dude. They keep rehashing older stuff, which was their good stuff. We're gonna get Winbush's ire up saying about this.
Hey, Sega mentioned they're working on some new versions of their IP. Where are those coming? Are they coming 2026?
I can't confirm or deny. I met with Sega when I was in Tokyo. I'm going to be doing some stuff with them coming up. But they have an anniversary coming up this year as well. So yeah, there's going to be some content coming out, some announcements, and it's looking bright for them. When I met with them, I kind of I know they had that announcement last year where they said like Sega's not a retro company, and they were kind of like crapping on people wanting like, people have been asking for like a Dreamcast Mini or a Saturn Mini, or even just like trying to like bring back some of these throwback titles. Like Streets of Rage 4 was really dope, and people are looking for more like remakes and rehashes and brought back to life some of these IPs. And I kind of told them, I'm like, you guys are letting your community down by not releasing some of these titles. Like you guys were at this high point with Streets of Rage 4, and then it's
Yes.
just like they kind of just dropped the ball on it. And they were like, yeah, we got more stuff coming out, and we'll see. You know, they announced like Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio,
Golden Axe.
There's
all great.
There's a Streets of Rage coming out that's going to be 3D. I hope they, like, I hate to say, I hope they cancel products, but that it didn't look too good. So it's one of those things. It's like you guys had a high point with Streets of Rage 4, and it's like if you release something like that, it's just like it kind of reminded me of like Fighting Force, if you remember that from back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, I hope you guys don't.
Well,
kill
like Golden Axe. Why after Streets of Rage 4? Why not do a Golden Axe in that style with those great gameplay mechanics?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, we'll see. I don't know too much about what's going on in there, but I was going to bring up with Microsoft because I kind of feel for that position that those guys are in. You know, like Phil Spencer and them. They in my eyes, it's like Xbox. They have to. So you know, it's in a tiered system, right? Like you have Xbox, or not Xbox. Yeah, Microsoft, the actual company that have Office and Windows and everything under that umbrella. And Xbox, they have to pretty much do whatever they say. I can't remember the president's name of Microsoft, but they've been so invested in AI that that's where all their money and resources is going into. So it's almost like the gaming division is almost like just a subset of what they're trying to do. And their budget is coming out like they don't have as much funding as they used to, and everything has just been all AI with Microsoft. So it's kind of put Xbox in like this tough place to where they acquired all these studios, but now they have no budget to keep anything running over there. So it's almost like I kind of wonder like what their position is going to be over the next couple of years, because it doesn't seem like they're getting any type of funding or support anymore over there.
Microsoft Copilot. Copilot is not the way, dude. Not the way at all.
And they're going to try to put Copilot in the next Xbox. Like it's
then we don't have to play our games. We can let Copilot beat our games for us.
Yeah, they're kind of like blinded, and I don't know, how much say the like Phil and those guys have over where Xbox goes, but it just feels like Microsoft, the top brass that don't play games, they have no idea what's going on, and they're kind of forcing their initiative on the Xbox brand, and they're just killing it. And they don't say that they're killing it,
I would say Phil doesn't have a lot to say because you used to see him a lot, and then what that Sajay or whoever took over, you don't ever see Phil anymore.
Well, Eric will say that he's seen Phil, but not, in like his sauna and stuff. That's a whole nother story.
Phil McCracken.
Dude, crazy. All right. So anything else that we're looking at, excited about, things that we're looking forward to? I know Winbush, you already talked about. We're going to go back to you at the cool stuff you saw at CES. Scantron, talk to us what you're seeing as far as having to deal with TVs. Do we have anything special that you see coming up in 2026?
I see a lot of special things on my TV in 2026, and I've been seeing it since the end of 2025.
There you go.
I kind of started dabbling in the streaming world, and I don't know if any of you guys have really messed with these type of Android boxes and stuff like that. And I was super skeptical because I've done the Fire Sticks and the cracked Fire Sticks and the things, and everything was so wonky. I just thought, and I slept on this for a long time. So I took a flyer and ended up doing some reviews on the VC box line, and that has taken off pretty well. And now I'm kind of reviewing other boxes from box companies. And to just be honest with you, man, like sometimes they're just so inferior, I don't even want to do a review on it compared to what this is. And it kind of pivots from what Eric and Eli are doing with the BeardBox. So I am going to be reviewing their creme de la creme BeardBox here, likely this month. And the cool part about it is there's a lot of my subscriber base that is into the streaming stuff. So if you're into gaming and streaming, the BeardBox is going to be very capable of both of those things. It's a real mini PC. So if you want to sideload your own apps, I mean, this is a console you can have plugged right into your TV, just like a VC box. So if you use things like Plex and stuff like that, you can just install it on there and just kind of have an all-in-one little entertainment box. So I'm a fan of the box stuff right now, and I can't wait to get my hands on a BeardBox, and I think it's going to be a fruitful year. Let's
Nice.
say that.
That's what we hope.
Yeah.
So what's up, Wolfman? You got that perplexed face.
I do. I got a phone call from Eric, and something personal just happened, and he won't be hopping back on. So he's done for the show.
Okay. Hopefully good. Hopefully it's not anything too bad.
Yeah, it's just something that happened in the family, and you just can't.
Gotcha.
Can't finish the show.
Prayers up, Eric.
Okay.
It's all good.
Prayers up.
Man, and we were gonna. I shouldn't have cut him off. I should have let him just go ham. Then at that. That's all right. Next time, Eric, we'll get you back on the supplemental. We want to hear what you got to say. All right. So anybody else like looking forward to anything like special? I mean, I'll touch on something else that I'm looking forward to. But Eric, Endgame, go ahead.
So not necessarily looking forward to this. Just get curious what you guys think about it since we're talking about boxes. What about the Steam box? I hear it's coming out, and I hear potentially they're going to have a Half-Life 3 with it. What do you guys think about this? Do you think it's actually going to happen?
I just saw the price leaks on there. They're looking at about $1,000. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a lot, but with the way that technology and how everything is going expense-wise, I don't think that's out of the realm of not possible. The challenge is like that's still a lot of money for just people in general for something like that, the shiny things. So, but I will say I'm leaning more towards what you're talking about, Endgame. I think that they could get their $1,000 if they release it with Half-Life 3. I personally think that they might finally drop within the next couple of months, I would say, because it's supposed to be coming out, like, isn't it in April? Is that right?
Yeah, couple months.
Yeah, so that would mean within the next month, they would have to start, if they really want to start generating, they'd have to drop some hints. And I think if it's going to go anywhere, it's going to be with Half-Life 3.
I agree.
So 1,000 is a lot. I think that they would do better at 800, and then maybe for their 2 terabyte version, their creme de la creme, the 999, I think would be a good thing. The 999s. But again,
I just don't think they can because of the RAM prices and PC parts are just crazy right now.
Yeah.
Dude, you just came back in from CES. What do you have as far as them talking about, all that computer hardware and stuff? What are you seeing? What were they telling you over there? What were you noticing?
Yeah.
How is Half-Life 3?
Tell us right now.
I wish I knew. My son's been
on
waiting
us
his whole life for it, but yeah, wish I knew. But yeah, it's not gonna lie, it's looking kind of grim out there. Like a lot of these RAM manufacturers, a lot of them are going enterprise. Like they're strictly building for the enterprise market and getting out of the consumer market, just because like a lot of these data centers are pretty much pre-ordering a lot of the RAM in advance so that they can have it for the data centers for AI generative stuff. And yeah, it's just they're eating it up right now. So it's kind of tough to tell where the market's going to go. Hopefully, there's some light at the end of the tunnel. I know Nvidia was talking about releasing consumer grade cards again. Like there was talks on the show floor that Nvidia was actually going to re-release the 3060 card, because I guess like if you look at the Steam analytics, that seems to be like the sweet spot of where people that have like gaming PCs are using the 3060. So they're talking about re-releasing that because that's on like older hardware and they can actually manufacture that without taking a big ding on it. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting year to see where a lot of this PC hardware stuff goes. But yeah, the AI stuff just kind of it crushed everybody across the board.
Well, go ahead. I mean, they never really stopped producing the 3060s though, right? So they're just going to ramp back up then, I guess, and that'll be like a main focus.
No, I think they did stop at some point, right? Because yeah, once they released the 50 series, I think they stopped production on the 30s.
Yeah, I mean, I have a 3060 Ti, and it plays almost everything that I need. It still looks great. Yeah, I can't run everything maxed out, but I can run it all. I mean, most people wouldn't notice. I mean, unless you're, got the high refresh rate or try to run in 4K or something, which, I mean, some people do that, but I mean, whatever. But yeah, I mean, go ahead, Endgame.
I mean, it kind of opens up a window here. If the technology is not going to keep advancing and advancing, you can optimize your games for a longer time and maybe get more out of them. And it gives you a little window here to maybe like really push what the current hardware is as best you can, as opposed to, oh man, we got to get these the ray tracing 2.0 or 3.0 or whatever it is in there, you know. So, you know, good companies, maybe they'll take advantage of this.
To me, it seems like a lot of those companies, they put out the newer cards, not necessarily because they're needed, but because that's what's expected. And then
Yeah.
developers will develop games, and actually, I'll say it, and I don't know a better way to say this, but they'll develop a game with garbage in the game. They'll develop the game in a manner because they know that the heavier cards will be able to handle their issues,
Yep.
right? And they can mask the issues by heavier cards. This will force them, in my opinion, to really optimize their games more, which they should be doing, but it takes a little bit more money. But I think it's a great thing if that's the way that it goes. But things don't get cheaper either. So we could end up getting the same older technology and them just charging more because it's not as much as this over here. And so I don't know. Like you said, Winbush, I'm with you. I think it's to me, in my research and doing my reading and all that stuff, that it is kind of grim out there. And I don't want this to be a negative kind of thing coming on 2026 because we don't know what's going to happen. But I mean, when we start reading the tea leaves, I mean, we can't all be winning, you know, like getting our build a hole and be winning in life by like Scantron with getting his stuff in Golden Tee. So,
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
I don't see it as a terrible thing because I've been saying for a while, I think everything kind of needs to just mellow out for a little bit because it's like everything was progressing so fast that it was hard for everybody, even like game developers, like it's hard for them to keep up with the iteration of just hardware that keeps coming out. Like they're already talking about like a PlayStation 6, like for like 27 or 28. And it's like, it feels like they barely have anything going for like the PS5 and the Xbox Series at this point. So I think like a longer generation might benefit developers. And even like Tim Sweeney over at Epic Games came out and he was like, the games are running like crap because these developers aren't taking the time to actually sit down and, you know, optimizing the games like you alluded to before, because they don't have the time to actually sit down and optimize. Like they're just throwing stuff out there and just hoping that they can fix it on the back end. But I think if everybody just slows down a little bit, we'll actually get better products at the end of the day. Like we don't need to keep pushing and pursuing and just, I think it's actually been hurting a lot more than helping the game industry.
And Wimbush, weren't they talking like PlayStation 6 maybe in the next year or two? The PlayStation 5 Pro hasn't even done anything, you know?
Yeah, and it's shown like game developers aren't even really developing for the 5 Pro. Like there's been very little like the I guess like the graphics and fidelity are like very incremental. Like you wouldn't even be able to tell. Like you'd probably be just better off with a base PS5 at this point.
Right. And if the PlayStation 6 comes out in 2030, there's time for the PS5 Pro to have its space where it's relevant. If it comes out in the next year or two, then there's no point in having a PS5 Pro.
There's no games.
Right.
That too,
There's no games. The bottom line goes back to the last episode, right? I don't care. We're talking Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo. There's no, the whole point of having these separate companies is getting the systems for those exclusive games. And we're not seeing it. So then what's the point? Right? I mean, especially Nintendo. You know, and you know, Dantron, I still want a Switch too, but you know, I look at it and it's like there's 4 games that I want, probably 3.
Yeah, you're gonna get the Switch too, like me, and just play Switch games on it.
I mean, that's what I did with Xbox, right? Got the Series X and played basically my backlog from the 360 and Xbox One on it. Yeah.
Right.
Hey, welcome back, Eric. I'm glad to see you back, brother. I didn't know what was up, so I'm glad you made it. So everything good?
Yep. I need to be here right now.
I'm
just gonna leave it at that.
Well, welcome back. We're getting all pissy with the what's going on with the gaming industry. So perfect timing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And you could speak of this, Eric, because you know you and I have talked about this. You know, I know you work for a game company, and I know you're frustrated. We've talked on the outside, and you know we've talked about how crappy these AAA, you know, games are that are coming out and stuff, and how like indie games are really kind of taking over. What's your thoughts on that stuff?
All right, this is cool. This is what I was waiting for. Um, so what's happening is really, really interesting. This is kind of like, I hope 2026 is like the age of the indie developer. Because where we're at right now is that these big AAA studios are being pressured so hard by their boards of directors to make profit, right? And the problem is when they don't make profit, then you have mass layoffs, and then you have all kinds of stuff where sometimes the pressure comes back to executives and they get laid off. But oftentimes they get like a golden parachute of some sort or whatever. So it's not as big of a deal. But Microsoft had a round of 9,000 plus layoffs late last year. And that was their second round of mass layoffs and stuff. And we don't know what the future will look like, but a lot of tech gaming companies had a similar situation. Anyway, so board of directors putting pressure on these gaming companies to make as much profit as possible. And when profit isn't realized, like when it's not guaranteed, when it's not like, okay, we have this hardcore IP that we know will make money if we release the next iteration of this game, what they resort to is we have to make cuts. And they make cuts in order to achieve that profit that they need. Or what happens, which is what's going on right now, is they will take an IP and they will remaster it. And they're like, we know that it's a guaranteed success. And not only that, it's a cheap development lift. Like, it's way easier to take an established IP and just up the art and throw it into Unity or some other game engine and have, 10, 20 developers work on it and then re-release it, for a cheaper price and add a bunch of microtransactions and stuff like that. And it's guaranteed profit, right? And what you're seeing is these board of directors, I don't know all of them personally or anything like that, but a lot of them are older in age and a lot of them aren't gamers. And if they are gamers, they're not gamers to a point where it's more important than money. So it's like, do I want to make a game, or do I want to take the risk to make something new and develop a new IP that may flop or may not? Or do I want to take something that's kind of a guaranteed profit and is a cheap development lift and just work on that? And more often than not, they're choosing that path. And it's not just a Microsoft problem. It's not just one company. It's every AAA developer is doing the same thing at the same time. And it sucks. It sucks for the gamer, because although we do like those games, ultimately that is why it's guaranteed profit, is because we liked those originals, and then they remaster it and then we buy it again. But oftentimes when we buy it again, it's not as good as the original, or the remaster isn't the remaster we wanted, or they've added a bunch of shady microtransaction bullshit that wasn't in the original. And they're like, so ultimately the fan base kind of gets screwed by this.
We lose,
And
the gamers lose.
Yeah, the gamers lose. Whereas like indie developers are like, no, we want to make this game and we don't, we care if we make money, but we're not afraid because we're starting from zero, right? So it's like the No Fate developers. What is it? Reef was like, we're starting from zero. If we don't make anything, it's we're just right where we are now. But if we make something, it's a net positive. And that's the story with a lot of these indie developers. So they're not afraid to take risk. And there was a time when AAA studios were in that mindset as well. And they weren't afraid to take risk. And they were like, we just want to make something that we think the gamers are going to like. Now, if there is any sort of positive light in this, I would cite something like Diablo 4. Diablo 4 Diablo franchise is very important to me personally, but it's also important to a lot of other people. And when they released Diablo 4 on release, it made a bunch of money. We had a massive celebration. It made all kinds of money. And then people quickly realized it sucks. It falls off real quick and has no replay value. And the equipment and stuff is all confusing. And there's many issues, right? So it made a bunch of money initially, but it fell off real quick. But now we're at a point where Diablo 4 is kind of building itself back up, and the game that you play now and the game that you will play early in the future is not what it was on release. And it's garnering much more positive reviews now. And I can't speak too much to the back end due to NDA reasons, but that was realized, and a lot of the developers were like, shit, we got to fix something. And they did it, and they did it as game centric as they could, and they are reaping the benefits of it now, and I feel like they will more in the future. Now, that's something very small. It's one portion of one game with one AAA developer, and it's important to keep that in perspective. Is this foreshadowing for the entire industry? No. I feel like the AAA industry is kind of doomed at this point, but it's a wave. It'll go down. We're currently on a down slope. We aren't at the bottom yet, unfortunately. And I feel like we will hit the bottom in 2026. I feel like mid 2026 we'll hit that bottom. And eventually maybe AAA studios will recover. But when they do recover, it won't look like what it looks like now. Game development is changed forever. And it will be different. But now what I hope happens is from a gaming perspective, from a gamer perspective, is that indie studios will fill that gap. And they will be like, you guys aren't really willing to take risk. You guys aren't willing to make good games. We are going to make good games. And what I do hope, what Wolf kind of touched on, is I hope they don't sell out. And when I mean sell out is I hope they don't make a fantastic game and then another company that has a whole bunch of money is like, we're just going to buy your studio. Because more often than not, they buy the studio, they ruin the franchise, and they lay off all the developers. And I don't want that to happen. What I do want is for these indie studios to say, nope, we don't need you. We have a successful game. And even though we're not making the billions that we could make if we were a part of your studio, we're happy with the hundreds of millions that we are making. And we're going to use that to make a sequel that will also be successful. That's what I hope. Go ahead.
I was going to say, can I piggyback off of what you're saying about like studios like selling out to the bigger studios? Because that's the type of thing where I think, like, if you're a fan of the game, you do need to support it, right? Because there's situations like you look at Double Fine, right? Like Tim Schafer and those guys, like they had to sell to Microsoft because he was like, they weren't able to get the budget for the games that they wanted to make. Like they had to go to crowdfunding at one point just to get like Psychonauts 2 going and stuff like that. So he was spending more time trying to cater to these, like sponsors to get the funding for the game than he actually was spending in game development. So once he sold to Microsoft, he was able to actually sit down and do the coding and get the games and stuff. So it's almost like a catch-22. It's like, I feel for some of these developers because they're in a hard position. Like you want to make the games you want to make, but if the people aren't supporting the games that you're making, then you kind of have to sell to be able to get the funding to keep making those type of games. Like they just had that Lighthouse game come out. And I mean, it's a Microsoft problem because they didn't push it at all, but nobody knew that game came out. And it's like Double Fine, they make really good games, but they're not marketed and nobody knows they're coming out. So it puts them in tough situations, you know?
So what I will say, I'm sorry, who was trying to talk?
Oh, no, well, I was just going to bring in a quick example here of like Tango Gameworks, for example, a smaller studio by Microsoft takes a risk on this game called Hi-Fi Rush. According to Microsoft, it was a success. a lot of people on Game Pass played it. That, in theory, gets subscribers to your Game Pass, but they just laid off everybody. And it's like, why? That they did exactly what you wanted them to do. They didn't have this massive budget like Perfect Dark, the new Perfect Dark that got canceled, 10 years, all that. It's like they built it cost effectively, took a chance, made this great little small game. Yeah, it didn't blow up, but it did what it needed to do, and they just canned the studio. It's disappointing.
Right, and that's part of like the double-edged sword that comes with being a part of a bigger studio, right? You run that risk, whereas if you're independent and your own boss, you can make decisions like that. What I will say to Winbush's point is the developers and the people that are involved in making these games, often they are the ones that have the passion, and they are handcuffed by their executives to not make what they want to make.
Yeah.
And that's really, really unfortunate. And it's actually heartbreaking as a gamer to see it every single day, and to see like design decisions that are fantastic, in my opinion, where somebody has put so much heart and passion into this pitch, and then they make the pitch, and the executives who don't fully understand what they're being pitched at the time just say, no, we don't want to risk it. We don't want to put the money into it. So we're not going to make it. So many of those ideas get shut down. And then what sucks is, I'm not going to make this into a pity me thing where, a game gets released and then a Reddit post happens and everyone shits on the developer, because that's what happens. We'll say, when people make those posts and stuff, I do think a lot of times they don't take into consideration that the people on the bottom and the people that want to, like that game that got released that you don't like, that's not the game they wanted.
Yeah.
That's the game that was approved by their higher ups. And maybe they didn't want it. Maybe they had something better. Yeah, anyway.
Well, and
A
that's
lot
been
of times
happening.
it's forced on them. Yeah.
And that's been happening for a long time too, because I ran down the rabbit hole of a game that I freaking love, and thank you, Wolfman, for making me really start pushing into it and going through it. Is a game for Dreamcast. Winbush giving you your Sega stuff. Elemental Gimmick Gear. If you run down that rabbit hole, that's a great game. Fantastic. Little on the short side. You know why? Because that's like 25% of the game that they wanted to make. So that's what, and so it's like, you got a great game. Can you imagine how good that game could have been? And it's already great. It's just unbelievable. I think that's freaking awesome.
Just something to say real quick.
Yeah.
That Endgame said, which I thought was a great example. You mentioned Tango Games, right? As an example, Tango Games was an independent studio. Okay, I remember when that horror game, The Evil Within, came out, like 2013, 2014. It was amazing. It was so good. And then he wanted to put out Evil Within 2, and then they were like running out of funds, like you guys are saying, and they wanted to like do a bunch of stuff. I think they had like Ghostwire in mind, and then Microsoft buys them, and then the rest is history. So
I want to get kind of cerebral real quick. Just real quick, I want to make this point, because I feel like when we get a good game, a lot of people don't understand everything that has to fall into place to make that game, right? So not only do you like Expedition 33, for example, right? You have to have the right people in the right place that care so much about that game that they're not going to be tempted by millions of dollars or anything like that by the bigger studios and stuff like that to sell out to them and stuff. And the likelihood of all of that falling into place, because let's say you have a great idea. We all get together in this call. We have a fantastic idea for a game and we start to develop it. All of a sudden Microsoft comes along and they go, hey, we have your Wolf Wimbush Ingame Dantron studio, whatever the fuck, and we're going to give you $125 million. Well, I'm saying, yeah, cool. Give me that money and then we'll split it among all of us. And then you guys can do whatever. Right. And then that's what happens. And then that game gets ruined. Right? Because they get to do whatever they want, but we made out like bandits. You need the right people in the right studio that have the right passion to be able to say, no, I care about this game more than I do that $125 million. And I may not make that $125 million, but I will put out a good game. And people will know.
I would say the thing that sucks about Tango, though, they were just it was the wrong place, wrong time, right? Because initially they sold to ZeniMax, and then Microsoft bought ZeniMax because Microsoft wanted Elder Scrolls, they wanted Fallout, they wanted I can't think of the name, Bethesda. They wanted Bethesda,
Yep.
but with Bethesda, they got the slew of all the other studios, and I don't think they wanted Tango. So it's like they let Tango put their stuff out, and then they just cut it because that's not what they really wanted when they bought ZeniMax. They just wanted Bethesda at the end of the day. So it's just an unfortunate event that I think happened in that situation.
Yeah.
And the way that's worded, and I don't mean to harp on this, they wanted Bethesda. They didn't want Bethesda. They wanted Bethesda IPs.
Well,
Right. Yep.
They wanted Starfield. They thought Starfield was going to be a massive hit, and that's what they were banking on.
And
Yeah.
I'm banking on Scantron has something good to say about this. Oh no!
Oh,
Yes.
I was just gonna do a shot. He's done.
Yeah. All right.
I have
Yes.
nothing to add at all.
No. Okay, so you do actually. Yep. Shots. Take them. Everybody, do your shots. All right. No, you do have.
What was
something to
that?
add because Eric was just talking about it. So think about this, because I just was pulling a few threads here. So Eric said, yeah, I can make this game, and I'm going to keep making this game the way that I want to make this game. And you said, because I pay attention to what you guys say, and I listen to you all, Scantron, didn't you say that Golden Tee has PS3 graphics? Why do you think that's the case?
Because they don't fucking need they don't need to upscale and have higher resolutions, and they don't need to make it some crispy, doesn't need to run on some specific engine or anything like that. The way that they've done it has always worked, and that's the way they will always make it. At least that's my opinion.
That's what I'm getting at. They stayed in their lane. They know where their wheelhouse is, and they don't care.
100%.
They can get other. I guarantee you, there are other. I mean, they partnered with PGA, of course, but I guarantee you there are other like Bud Light, all kinds of others, and there's certain things that they're not going to do. You know why? Because they know their lane, they know their consumer base, and they're not going to cheapen that. So it just goes into the same exact thing that Eric was talking about. That's why I wanted to bring you in, and I was hoping you were going to pick up. Nope, I had to dig a little deep, but you
went right over my head.
You said it right at the beginning, dude. I don't know how your freaking hair should catch it. It's freaking dope. Anyway,
it's got too much product in it.
Oh, gosh dang it. Go ahead.
So they have a great niche, and I'll tell you why. If I know Eric and Arcade Adam and some of the other guys that have like monkeyed around with this stuff, they can attest to it. The hardware that is used in a Golden Tee Nighthawk is so old. Like, they don't need to pay for the newest graphics cards. They have these old ass Mobos, even though they still make new things that are. I think it might have like a 1060 or something in it. Like, it's not even, and they don't need to. And with their security chips and their cabinet IDs and all that locks it down from a security standpoint, and it all runs on Linux. They have the perfect combination. They don't make their game more than what it needs to be. Everybody loves it for what it is. You feel like you're playing something that it's a classic. They've been running the live series till now for 20 years. And you still are playing the same game, and they don't have to beef up this expensive hardware or nothing. Do they really have it fine-tuned? They know their audience, So,
hey, Winbush, Winbush, what did you pick up on that he said in that when it comes to the software part?
You gotta dig deeper.
It runs on Linux.
It's running on Linux.
Oh, right.
Big things coming 2026 right there.
Look at there.
Yeah.
Nice. Super dope. I see
Let's lose.
See, you're at 15 under. Nice.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not proud of that score right there because I'm on the 16th hole. So
But that's what I just wanted to point out. So yeah, that was a little bit deep. I'm sorry, Winbush, for putting you on the spot like that. But
All good.
Linux specifically, like Microsoft is gonna done mess up, and they're gonna mess around, and they're gonna FAFO, because there's already that. And I said this, I'm not gonna go down this rabbit hole too much because this has been fun, Dantron. This hasn't been getting saucy, Dantron, but there's a point where you F around and you find out, and Microsoft, we do not want you locking down our own personal PCs. We do not want you renting PCs, like leasing them like cars. I know you're thinking about doing that for a so there's a writing on the wall that you're trying to push us down. Stop it, because there's enough people that are irritated with you that they're shifting to Linux. Now, see, I like the fact that that Golden Tee has always been that way. They haven't had to shift away because they were just like, no, I don't want that anyways. I don't want Microsoft's fingers in there. But that's all I want to say is, like, they stop messing around, because there's a lot of people that are shifting to Linux and doing a lot more functions and things. Yeah, there's a few steps, and it's not as functionally fun to figure that out. But you're so bad that they are doing that. Careful. I'm done.
I mean, on the gaming side,
listen,
Valve is putting in a lot of work doing that, right? Like they have the Photon develop over top of Linux that's making it easier for people to play games on Linux-based systems. So yeah, I mean, it's getting there.
So
I think, listen, I'm no computer guru or nothing, but I've definitely built some Golden Tee computers and stuff. And I like the fact that Linux doesn't bother me. I'm not trying to code it. If you're trying to code it or do something, that's like Pandora's box. But it's simple. Like if I do something on one of my gaming PCs, right, like in the Megacade, if I swap the video card or something, I got to go download new drivers. I gotta set resolutions. I got to change shit. They have all of that driver software already baked into the Linux code. So like if I swap out a graphics card on this, it automatically knows what it is and installs. It's just done. You know what I mean? It's literally, they have it plug and play. It's already baked into the code. So I like that. But yeah, if you're a coder, that's a whole different ball game.
So where, in my opinion, Linux has got like 3 more hurdles to clear before it becomes like the center of all gaming. And I don't think Microsoft as a company realizes that. I think their ego's too big to realize that. But it's coming hard, and I feel like it's going to hit them, and we'll see what happens.
Too many jokes. You talked about Microsoft's ego, and it's coming hard. They don't call it the ego. But go ahead, continue.
But what I will say, having worked with a lot of Linux and stuff like that, honestly, if they can clear those 3 hurdles, and Valve, like if Valve releases SteamOS as like the thing, and they release that ISO, and they're like, or for free, or if they're like, oh, for $20 you can put SteamOS on anything and it will just work, Microsoft's in trouble.
Can you do that now though? I thought you could put SteamOS on like your PC.
It's not compatible with everything.
No, okay.
So there are still some compatibility hurdles that are there. That's one of the 3 hurdles that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But they're real close. They're real close to it being like, oh, this is acceptable across the board. Now what I will, yeah, and what I will say though, I don't know if you guys talked. I was out of the thing for a while. Did you guys touch on like PC hardware pricing and all that stuff?
Yeah, a little bit.
Just a little bit, like the RAM and stuff. Yeah.
So a news article came out today. I called this, by the way, so I have to toot my own horn though. I knew about the Valve Steam Box wasn't going to release at the original intended price. Just in developing the BeardBox and stuff like that, I was like, there's no way. That ain't going to happen. And now an article came out today that it's over $1,000 for a potential release price, and it's half as powerful as the BeardBox. So just want to toot my own horn there. BeardBox does everything the Steam Box does, and it's around the same price.
So
you gotta put the marketing out there. It's like the Sega does when Nintendo don't. You gotta kind of Flex that
It's
around.
just getting the word of mouth out there. But anyway, I don't want. This isn't about the BeardBox. This is about law. But the hardware pricing, it's affecting everybody. It's the reason that we're not getting a new PlayStation. But I don't think we need a new PlayStation.
They said
right
we
now.
don't
No.
need it.
Yeah.
honestly.
No, it's
Yeah,
barely.
we
been out.
don't. Yeah, we don't need it. But it's delaying everything because everybody hopes that it will come down, like the hardware prices will come down, but they ain't gonna come down anytime soon.
I got a question for you, Eric, because you just
Yeah.
striked up a thought, and I think I touched on this on the last episode really quick. But do you think that Microsoft engaged in their really went after Nvidia and trying to lock them down is because of the Steam box specifically? Because if that comes out and they're using Steam OS, it's another step. Do you think Microsoft might? Because you said they weren't aware. Do you think that maybe they were kind of aware and they were like, nope, all right, we gotta nip this one in the bud. So let's throw a bunch of money at Nvidia, make it so the Steam box is not getting cool like discounted pricing. They're gonna be paying more than retail to fill their orders and stuff in contractually. Do you think that Microsoft would have done something that nefarious?
Yes. Let's put it short. So what I will say, the board of directors, general board of directors, I don't think their intelligence level is very high. But what I will say is there are a few people in charge. I don't want to name names because I don't want to get in trouble, but there are a few people that do know what the fuck they're doing. And they use that ability for evil. And and they do shady things like that. Now, what I will say, I'm a personal friend with one of the founders of NVIDIA. And it's awesome to be able to say that. He is not a part of the NVIDIA company anymore, and proudly not a part of the NVIDIA company anymore. But this current CEO is one of his former best friends. And that guy used to be a champion of like technology and the indie developer and gaming and all of this stuff. And he has very, very quickly become like a Bond villain. And he's ridiculously rich at this point. He's very, very much in charge of a lot of the direction of PC gaming. He's in charge of Nintendo getting ripped off for the Switch 2. The Nintendo makes almost nothing from the Switch 2 because this guy decided we're going to overcharge you for these chips.
Wow.
And
Because they can.
Yeah, because they can. And they knew Nintendo couldn't go anywhere else. And they were like, we're going to overcharge you. You're not going to make anything on this console. And you're going to have to sell a whole bunch of stuff. And then people wonder why Nintendo does things like that Virtual Boy accessory and stuff like that. Well, that thing's 90% profit. That's why they did that. Like, then it makes a whole bunch of sense. Whereas the Switch 2, we're making $10 a console, if that. Like, of course, we're going to have a bunch of weird accessories that we hope people buy.
$30 amiibo.
Right. Of course we're going to have all that stuff because all that stuff is much higher profit and we're going to hope people buy that stuff. But this is, yeah, the answer is yes. They are nefarious. Yes, they will do that for a profit. And I hope we get to a point where the bubble breaks and people realize that and they vote with their dollar and people, an independent studio game or an independent studio console or something comes out where people are like, no, I'm funding this to the tune of like $50 million. And then those big companies are like, oh shit, like we screwed up. I hope that happens.
I hope I see Scantron play RC Pro-Am on one of those arcade machines back then.
I hope that too. I want to
Dude,
see him play RC Pro.
RC Pro-Am? I saw it pop up.
I have both of them, RC Pro 1 and 2, and I do play them on the racing cabs.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
You
So
play
fun.
RC Pro-Am with a wheel?
Yeah, dude, listen, I'm not going to say it's the easiest. I'm just going to say I play it on it.
He says get
But
good.
also, because of the RetroArch bullshit, I have to push a button on the dash for gas instead of using the gas pedal. So
What?
I haven't quite muddled my way through that, but sounds like it might change some settings for like, it might blanket a bunch of the NES games. So I don't know how that would, either way,
RetroArch.
it's there. I
RetroArch.
love RC Pro-Am, dude.
Freaking RetroArch.
Yep.
There's a
RetroArch.
reason why Adam says
RetroArch.
he's ripping it off. Like no RetroArch, all independent emulators.
RetroArch is, I mean, it's good for what it is.
It's
And
not...
I understand the why it works the way it works, but no.
All right, so we're getting up there in time. So I just wanted to. I think we might have to. Well, we covered a lot of things today, but I want to give an opportunity for anybody else and anything they want to talk about, something they're excited about. One other thing that hasn't been covered as far as things to watch out for in 2026, or things that you're excited for as far as going on in your channels, because everybody on here has a channel except for Wolfman, but he can just hang with me. So we got Endgame Arcade with his own YouTube channel, and are you running anywhere else, or is it just YouTube?
Just YouTube.
That's all right. That's not a just. And you check out his channel, Winbush. Of course, you got all like, what is it, like 2 or 3 different channels, but
Yeah, I got
him out, of course.
ADHD.
So, but do any of you guys have anything else that you want to talk about that you're excited for your channels? Anything else coming? Go ahead, Wolfman.
Yes, we talked about horror, and some of us shared how much we like the Terrifier franchise, not the beat 'em up game, but the movies. And I am super excited for the Hellraiser game that's coming out.
That looks good.
Man, does that look god darn good. And I'm somebody that like was into the comics, and I love Clive Barker, and there was actually a PS3 game that a lot of people don't know about by Clive Barker, a horror game called Jericho.
Yep.
Which was very good, which I really enjoyed. But this one looks special. So if you haven't seen it, just like YouTube the trailer, and it's awesome. And I'm going to do a shameless plug right now, because I plug all my friends' stuff all the time. So I'm going to plug this. Screw it. My younger son just started a YouTube channel, and he's doing Pokemon unboxing, and he's doing Fortnite gameplays.
Yes.
And he stole my gamer tag, which I'm not happy about, but it's it's Lobo Sack YT, and he's doing some cool stuff. So anybody that's listening, if you could give him a subscribe, he'd really appreciate that.
Oh, we got you on that, fam.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll speak on that. I know that there's a lot of people that kind of gyrate around in the VPN community. I've been an advocate and kind of a partner with Rec Room World for years now. I have the new 3.0 software, which has been delayed for like 2 years. I should have that in my sweaty palms within the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to do a nice review on that. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're doing with the 3.0 software. A lot of people have been waiting on it. So yeah, that's somewhat exciting for the channel. I'm just going to keep chugging along the way I always have. And that's that.
It's Scantron
Nice.
5K. Check them out, YouTube. And you're not really on anything else, just YouTube, right? That's your big one?
No, listen, I got some like burner TikTok stuff and some faceless stuff that I've done. But yeah, I do have it. I just don't really push anything else. I do have a business Facebook page for my Scantron page. If you just want to talk shit, get me with your love, your hate, your death threats. I'm here for it.
or if you're in the market to buy some stuff, not necessarily housing, any of that kind of stuff, just PM, all that kind of good things.
There you go.
Give your plug, buddy.
Yeah, aren't you on HGTV or something like that?
Oh,
I have been on HGTV. Matter of fact, that's in the crosshairs for 2026.
There we go.
Had another episode of House Hunters that was literally established. I was supposed to shoot it in October. Casting, for whatever reason, didn't love my clients. They didn't think there was enough back and forth banter. They were like the 2 sweetest women I've met. So like, you never know what reality TV is looking for, but HGTV is a little bit more on the classy side. So I'm going to keep riding that wave as long as I can. And I think an episode is in the crosshairs for 2026. I'll have to keep you guys posted on that.
Nice.
Cool.
Right on.
Yeah, that's right.
Eric, Backlog Arcade, anything else that you want to close out with?
Yeah. So myself and my partner, Mr. Eli, BMA Arcades, we made this fantastic retro console. If anyone is interested in retro gameplay and they don't have the multiple thousands of dollars to purchase an arcade cabinet, we made the BeardBox. And although it released in 2025, it's really not going to get going until 2026. We are shipping them now. We have customers, and they are amazing. I am doing a showcase next Wednesday. That will be a live showcase where people can actively ask questions, and I will answer those questions. And I'm going to be doing gameplay. And if people have games they want to see perform on the BeardBox, I will play them live and showcase what the BeardBox is really capable of doing.
Best way to do it.
Yeah, and it's a fantastic system. And I will say, I've started multiple companies. I've been behind multiple companies, and I have never been in support of a product as much as I am this particular product. This thing does incredible things, and it's all about gaming. It's really just a passion project for gaming. So
that's sweet, dude.
Check
I
out.
can't wait to be somewhat of a piece of a part of it with you guys, man. I'm looking forward to I'm trying to fill that shopping cart, dude.
Absolutely.
And so this is going to release. So when you're seeing this, you guys are in the private, in the chat group and all that
Oh,
stuff.
right.
This.
Yeah.
It's going to be happening tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Oh, right. Okay. There we go.
No. So when is it? When is yours releasing? Yours is releasing
Wednesday.
on the 14th. It's a Wednesday.
It's going to be on Wednesday. Yeah.
At what time? What time is it going to be Wednesday? Wednesday the 14th, 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Mountain time. I don't know what that is. Eastern, I think that's 10
p.m. Eastern.
10 p.m.
All right, 10 p.m. Eastern. So, that I'm gonna make that. So that's gonna release in 2 days. 2 days. I'm gonna make it happen. So I'm gonna give you the release. So when this releases and you're watching this now, it'll be 2 days from now. So make sure you're there. All right.
Thank you for clarifying that. Appreciate
it. Winbush, thanks for being here, man. Give us some of your stuff.
Man.
You're doing all these awesome things, and I live vicariously through all your cool trips and stuff, and I appreciate it. So what are you excited about this year?
Yeah, no, appreciate it. Can I give a shout out to my one buddy Zero? You know Zero.
Always. Zero is dope. Old Man Arcade.
He goes by Old Man Arcade on YouTube. He just started a channel. He got me into 3D printing. I just got a 3D printer for Christmas, but we both have these Vulix arcades by Taito, and he's been going in and 3D printing like actual panels for the arcade cabinet so that it's swappable. So he actually sent me over the 3D files. I printed it out. That's why it's flat right now. It doesn't have a joystick or anything in there, because like if I'm playing a light gun game, then it's like I can put the light gun panel on there, or if I want to have like a Sega arcade style button swap, with 3D print that out and put it in there. And he's been going through the process on his YouTube channel, and he's going to be freely sharing out this project files if anybody wants to 3D print their own custom panel for the arcade system. So yeah, shout out to Old Man Arcade. And then want to shout out Endgame as well, because I started playing Time Crisis 5, and your tutorial came up for that foot pedal, because I got the foot pedal at a flea market for like $5 or something crazy. Like I just saw it had a USB connection. I'm like, this looks pretty dope. Then I'm like, I wonder if I could use it for Time Crisis. Your tutorial came up. I think I left you a comment on there, but it actually helped me get that all set up and everything. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Out there, Endgame Arcade. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel. And yeah, just happy to be here talking video games with like-minded people.
Nice.
Yeah, this has been tons of fun. Wolfman, you gonna close us out?
Yeah, I just want everybody to know I don't have shiitake mushrooms going on. Poopy caca. I got nada, nothing. But I love hanging with my homies. I love supporting my bud, Dantron69K.
Amen. Amen.
To a T, his retro shorts kick ass. They're just funny, witty, very knowledgeable, and and I spoke about this last time. Dan does a lot of cutting edge stuff. By that I mean he's super creative, and a lot of people swipe his shit. and they take his ideas and stuff, and it pisses me off. And I know he doesn't care as much, but you know, it is annoying that larger channels could just come in and like look at smaller channels and just like take ideas and stuff. Like, it's just, I guess it's a dog eat dog world, YouTube, and you know, like social
Amen.
media and
It's what it
stuff.
is.
Sucks.
I mean, if we need to swamp them, let's do it. What we
Yeah.
usually do is when people do that, we'll swamp the comment section and just call them out on it.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
sometimes
that's
people
what
gotta
needs
be
to be
caught up.
done. But he's got YouTube, he's got TikTok, he's got all sorts of stuff. So, you know, sub for him, and then if you could give a sub to my son, Lobosack, LOBOSACKYT. He's got a YouTube channel, and I'm trying to help him out a little bit. So
it's all for the love of the game, dude. It's all for the love of the game. I do it because, again, I like just talking games and hanging out with you guys, and I like doing dumb stuff. And sometimes people like to watch my dumb stuff that I capture. That's it. I
love watching your dumb stuff.
because there's a lot of it. So yeah, I'm
Dumber the better, dude.
Yeah, right. I'm having fun playing through some Resident Evil stuff with my youngest daughter, Raiden. She enjoys it a lot. So I guess something I'm looking forward to is, of course, this next year hanging out with all you guys. I'm looking forward to my 1,000 subscriber special that's going to happen at the end of this month. The end of January 31st. I'm excited about that. I'm also excited about Resident Evil Requiem coming out.
Yes.
It's going to be coming out in February. I am a big Resident Evil fan, so that's really the stuff that I'm looking forward to. I am big, like you guys, into retro gaming. I'm not just going to buy something just because it's new if it's garbage. So I'm not down with that. I haven't found, like, I still maintain, and I was going to say this earlier, when Eric was talking about that people had more freedom to do stuff, I will tell you, the one developer that had the most freedom and the most games that came out, the most memorable character, I'm just gonna straight up say it, and Winbush is wearing the shirt, Sega put out some incredible game-changing IPs back in the day. So I've been playing a lot of Sega stuff recently, like Sega Saturn, Sega Dreamcast. I mean, I'm just all about that stuff. I've been having a good time. I love the fact that you guys came and hung out with me, and we were able to talk about and close out 2025 all done, and then be able to speak on some of the happy stuff that we see happening in 2026, and some of the things that we want to watch out for, and that might be keeping us up at night. I'm not keeping up at night. I don't care about that. But just letting you guys know, and that I appreciate you all being here. And until next time,
let's lose.
We got Endgame. The Endgame get to go.
Oh, Endgame, did you get a talk? You got a talk,
I mean,
didn't you? No,
I do have a 2-player Retrocade Elite cabinet coming out. BeardBox. Maybe I can get one of those put in there and see how it works with the joystick and buttons. No, we're all good, man.
No, keep talking.
I will say this.
Go ahead.
If anyone watches Endgame's videos, it's like a fucking Paramount production. I don't even know how he finds the time to do the shit. I could watch a movie and then go watch one of his videos, and I'd rather watch the fucking video. So
thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
kudos to the editing, dude.
Yep.
Really good.
Yeah.
So we all have our lane and we all do our craft amazing, and that's why it's great when we can all come together.
Yeah, and when Dan thinks that you talked and you didn't talk, and he friggin' sucks. So I'm sorry about that, Endgame. Go.
We're good. We're good.
What else are you looking forward to? What else are you dropping in the near future?
Oh, I mean, Resident Evil 9 Requiem, that comes out next month. I'm going to be playing that. I want to clean up Claire Obscure. I beat the game, but I want 100% that if I can. There's some tough battles towards the end there, Wolfman. So definitely some stuff to do.
Oh,
and then, like I said, I got that new arcade to try out to review, and maybe we'll get a BeardBox in there, and we'll see put that thing to the test.
I've been really enjoying your Dispatch playthrough as well.
Oh,
just
yeah.
So you're aware. Like, anybody else that likes like a narrative-driven story that's really cool. It's almost like watching an anime if you're down with anime. And only it's a choose your own adventure anime. That game looks awesome, but actually having Endgame go through it is a lot of fun. So I want to point that out too.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Are you streaming it in game, or is it?
No, I just recorded it and then made the episodes release like weekly. I'm on episode 7 out of 8, so the next one probably will release next week. And then, like, we already touched on this, but the biggest event coming up is the 1,000 subscriber episode for Dantron. Hopefully,
Yep,
everyone here is going to be
hey.
there.
Yeah.
Hell
and-
yeah.
We will.
dude. So
He
I
didn't want to toot his own horn up there is what's going on. You should be beeping away, dude.
No. I mean, I am going to be giving away some of my own personal retro collection. It's going to be fun. I'm going to tell you there is going to be quite a few giveaways. And when I say quite a few, I already said that it's going to be going for about 4 hours. Just know I'm going to be doing a giveaway about every between 20 and 40 minutes. Every 20 and 40 minutes.
That's a lot.
I'm
Nice.
giving a giveaway. Just so you're aware, I'm just helping you guys out, and it ain't garbage. Well, I mean, some Wolfman,
I mean,
Snake King?
a couple little things, but there's some high end stuff though too.
There's some fun stuff that I'm giving out from my own personal collection. Some of the stuff with my own personal game saves on it. I know that, and if you don't have whatever it is, that's just the way that it is. But it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to hanging out with not only you guys watching this, but all you guys that are here on this this podcast with me. And so yeah, anybody else have anything else to say before I close us out for a freaking second time? Garbage.
Say,
I
are
think
gonna
you
be
said
streaming
it. You
your
said
games
it,
or
bro.
anything?
Sorry,
Epic.
what was that?
No,
Bush?
during your 1,000 subscriber episode, are you streaming any games during that or?
Yep, I'm going to stream everything from the Megacade. I'm going to be taking requests. I'm going to be doing all kinds of fun stuff. I'm going to play some newer stuff. I'm going to play some older stuff. I'm going to play some stuff that I want to play just because it's my stream and I can do whatever I want. But I'm going to take some requests.
Exactly.
And it might be one of those things like someone comes in there and it's like, I want you to play Arkanoid. And I'm going to be like, I'm going to play it one time and that's it. I'm not going to be playing. You know what I'm saying? I'm fine with Arkanoid. D. Thomas, hey, sorry, dude. I'm going to play it. And it's gonna, I'm just saying, I'm going to play Punch Out. I'm going to do all those fun ones. But, you know, if somebody says, I want you to play like Barbie Adventure, I'm probably going to look at you and go, not this time, my friend. Just so you know. I want people to have... Go ahead.
Muscle
All right.
March.
See, we need we never got our Sega racing going on. We need the group to do Sega racing, so we got to get one racing.
Oh, the Sonic
yeah, Sonic racing crosswords.
Sonic racing crosswords. Yeah, we need to do that.
Oh, I'm down for that.
Let's
Yeah, we
stream
need
some
it.
of
You'd be
that.
down with that on the racing cabs, right? That's Techno Parrot, isn't it?
No, it's Steam.
Oh, that's
PC.
Sonic All Stars. Okay.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, hey, you know somebody that
Sega
can help you set
All-Stars.
that up. You know somebody who can
Yeah.
help you.
I might know a couple people.
Oh, yeah, a couple. All right. Well, anyways, again, you guys, this was a ton of fun. And until next time, later.
Let's lose.
Peace.
Peace.